Welcome to the viewers for the lecture in the subject structural analysis. So, in the past few lectures, we are discussing about the matrix flexibility method. We are following direct approach or system approach. Right. Now, so far we have discussed propped cantilevers, continuous beams with the static indeterminacy equal to 1, continuous beams with static indeterminacy equal to 2, and then we have done problems on portal frames, and in lecture number 119 one more frame subjected to UDL, of course with the degree of static indeterminacy equal to 2. So, what we have discussed will be enough for an idea about or an outline about the matrix flexibility method for analyzing continuous beams and portal frames. Now, in this lecture, we will take up analysis of redundant pin jointed trusses. Now, pin jointed trusses already we have discussed by using strain energy method. Now, we are going to do the problems by matrix flexibility method using direct approach or system approach. Right. So, this is lecture number 120. Right. Now, for analyzing truss, first we have to find out the degree of redundancy. Now, in this problem, this is the truss that we want to analyze, and in this problem A and E are same for A and E are same for all the members. So, I have not given the text, just to analyze the truss, analyze the given pin jointed truss by matrix flexibility method, use direct approach or system approach, and A and E are same for all members. That is what is given in the problem. I have just straight away given the diagram, I have not given the text. Right, this is the truss. Now, so far we have used the formula I equal to m minus 2j minus 3. So, this is to find out the degree of internal indeterminacy, and external redundancy we have used r minus r. So, total equal to internal plus external. This is what we have used. So, coming to this truss, m equal to 6, there are 6 members. So, member number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 diagonal members. So, 6 members minus 2 joints A, B, C and D, 4 pin joints. So, 2 into 4 minus 3 equal to 1, 6. So, this is 5, 6 minus 5 equal to 1. Coming to external redundancy, there is a hinged support and there is a roller support. Therefore, there are 3 reaction components, 3 equations of equilibrium. Therefore, this is 0. Externally determinate, internally indeterminate to the first degree. Right. Now, equal to, this is 1 plus 0 equal to 1. This is the formula that we have been using so far for finding out the internal indeterminacy, external indeterminacy. Right. Now, there is another formula. So, I equal to m plus, or the degree of static indeterminacy is given by m plus r minus 2j. That is also another formula. So, here m stands for the number of members 6 plus r stands for the degree of reaction, the number of reaction components available. So, here there are 2 reactions. One is a horizontal reaction is possible and also vertical reaction is possible. So, here there is only one reaction component possible, namely a reaction component perpendicular to the plane of rollers. Therefore, small r equal to 3. Number of reaction components available in this problem is 3. M plus r equal to 3 minus 2 into number of joints. 2 into number of joints, there are 4 joints A, B, C and D. Therefore, 2 into 4. So, this is equal to 6 plus 3 is 9 minus 8 equal to 1. So, this is also another formula. Therefore, this formula also can be used. also can be used. Instead of this and this, we can use that formula also. This formula I am introducing new, because this is also another formula, and seeing this formula in some multiple choice questions, etc., one need not get confused. That is also a way of finding out the degree of static indeterminacy. So that is the first job. First job is finding out the degree of static indeterminacy. Right. Therefore, first we have to make the structure as statically determinate. Now we know it has got one extra member. So, one extra member. For making the structure, this is the given structure. This is the given structure. Given structure. Now, for getting the primary structure, we can remove any one member, namely the vertical member AB, the horizontal member AD, diagonal member AC, or any member, any one member we have to remove for making the structure statically determinate. Now, let us remove the horizontal member AD. Let us treat that this is extra. This is treated as the redundant member. We remove this member and make the structure statically determinate. Now, this is a primary structure. This is the primary structure. Right. Now, what we have done in strain energy method is, already we have done the same problem. I don't remember the lecture number. We have done the same problem by strain energy method. In the strain energy method, what we have done is, this is the truss means, horizontal member is redundant means, this is the given force, these are the supports. What we have done is, along the redundant member, we have applied an unknown force T, and analyzed for the force in various members. So, this is what we have done in the strain energy method. So, there we have completed the analysis in one cycle of method of joints, because we have included this also, and from this we have got the redundant force. That is what we have done in the strain energy method. Now, here the method in the unit, in this method, what we do is, we remove the redundant member, make the structure statically determinate. The primary structure will be analyzed due to the given external force. Forget about the redundant force now. Do not include as in the strain energy method. So, we must know the change in the procedure by both methods. Right. Now, this we are not doing in the current method, in the matrix method. Right. Now analyze that by method of joints. Now, we have to start from one joint. For analyzing, we know that due to the external force, when the primary structure is analyzed, we will get the F values. For getting the F values, we have to follow the method of joints. Method of joints, where we have to start. Before starting, first we have to find out all the reactions. So, that is very important. If it is a cantilever truss, we can start the analysis from the free end. When it is a simply supported truss, one support hinge, the other support on rollers, we have to first find out the reactions, satisfy all the equations of equilibrium. Now, here sigma V equal to 0 gives, now there is a downward force 80. So, sigma V must be 0. There are two joints, one is a hinged support, the other one is a roller support. Roller support cannot take a vertical reaction in this case, right. So along the direction of a roller, it cannot take any reaction. Therefore, the only option is that the vertical reaction at A will be 80 upwards. Therefore, that will give you VA 80 kN, that is the only force. Now this will be in the upward direction. Now this VA and the given downward force will satisfy sigma V equal to 0. Sigma V equal to 0, right. Sigma H equal to 0. As it is, there is no horizontal force. Therefore, it will look like sigma H equal to 0, satisfying sigma H equal to 0. The third condition is there, namely sigma M equal to 0. Now, these two equal and opposite force acting over a length of 4 meters, will cause a clockwise moment of 80 kilonewton, 80 into 4 equal to 320 kilonewton meter. This is clockwise, because the other force is downwards, the reaction is in the upward direction. So therefore, sigma M is not equal to 0. Sigma M is not equal to 0. Therefore, we have to apply an anti-clockwise moment so that sigma M must be equal to 0. So anti-clockwise moment will be possible by a horizontal reaction at A and horizontal reaction at. So these two will cause an anti-clockwise moment. So this is over 3 meters. 3 meters. Let us say HA and this is HB. HA and HB. HA and HB. So that will cause anti-clockwise moment. Or even otherwise, we can take a moment about the point A. Taking, it's a very important point, taking moments about A. The force at D, namely 80 into 4 meters, because, so forget about this force, this is one force, 80 into 4. So this is anti-clockwise, HB into 3 is anti-clockwise. So minus HB into 3 equal to 0. Therefore, minus 3HB equal to minus 320, or HB equal to 320 by 3 equal to 106.67. 106.67 kilonewton. So this is about the reaction. So this is 106.67 kilonewton, and sigma H equal to 0. Sigma H equal to 0 gives, this is towards right, it gives HA equal to 106.67 kilonewton towards left for satisfying sigma H equal to 0. Now all the 3 equilibrium equations are satisfied. Now we can start method of joints. So this determination of this reaction is an important step, right. So we have already discussed a number of problems on trusses. Therefore, sufficiently I have introduced a method of joints. Anyway, I will discuss one more case. For this case, I will discuss method of joints. After this lecture, I will just give only the final answer, because that will be boring. Continuously, if I discuss only method of joints, it will be boring. Anyway, just in this problem I will discuss, right. Now we have to start the method of joints. We cannot start from B, because there are 3 unknowns. We cannot start from C, there are 3 unknowns. We are going to use only 2 conditions, sigma V equal 0 and sigma h equal to 0. So only two unknowns can be solved with two equations. Therefore, either we can start at joint D, there are only two unknowns, or we can start at joint A, there are only two unknowns. Either at A or at D it is possible. Let us take joint D. Joint D. So joint D means you have to mark all the details around joint D. So at D there is a vertical member. So let us say this is joint D. Now the other end is C. Therefore, this is FDC. FDC. There is a diagonal member. Diagonal member. The opposite end is B. Therefore, this is FDB. FDB. And of course, this is horizontal. There is no member here. That is why it is drawn using dotted line. Right. Now, there is a vertical force. You have to mark all details around joint D. Whatever is the force, whatever is the reaction, you have to mark everything. Everything around joint D. Right. Now, that's about the details around joint D. Right. Now, we have to find out the value of theta. Theta, that is 3 by 4 equal to tan theta. Tan theta equal to 3 by 4 or theta equal to tan inverse of 3 by 4. Tan inverse of 3 by 4. Therefore, that is equal to 36 degree 52 minutes. Now, cos 3652 equal to 0.8, sin 3652 equal to 0.6. That is, the other value is theta 1. When this is theta 1. Theta 1 equal to 90 minus 3652 equal to 5308. So, 5308 cos 5308 is 0.6, sin 5308 is 0.8. 0.8. So, those values will be required for our calculations. Therefore, every time we need not write 36 degree, 52 minutes, 53 degree, 08 minutes, etc. We will be able to save time. So, that will save a lot of time. Right. Now, this angle is theta. Therefore, this angle is theta 1. Theta 1 with horizontal, this value is theta. When this is theta, this is theta. So, this is theta 1. Theta 1. Therefore, this is theta 1, this is theta. So, theta. Now, we can go for method of joints. Right. Now, first we will take sigma h equals 0 because there are two unknowns. When we take sigma v equals 0 first, both will appear, both terms will be there, there will be two unknowns. First, if we take sigma h equals 0, this term, this value will be straight away available and then we can go for this. Even otherwise also nothing wrong, but this will be more convenient. Sigma h equal to 0 will be more convenient. Sigma h equal to 0 will be FDB into cos theta. FDB cos theta. And these two are vertical forces. They will not give any horizontal component because cos 90 will be 0. So, this is the only term equal to 0. When there is no other force, FDB will be equal to 0. That's all. So, this is one value. So, this is a dummy member. So, we will have a separate diagram. So, this will help us a lot in the final tabulation. Of course, we have removed this member. Forget about the member now. Now, forget about this member. Right. Now, this we have got it. This is A, B, C and D. Now, we found that this is a dummy member. It is not carrying any force. Right. Now, sigma V equal to 0. Sigma V equal to 0 gives, FDC, this is downwards, FDC, plus 80, because this is also downwards. Then FDB into cos theta 1, cos of its angle with the vertical. So plus FDB into cos of its angle with vertical, cos theta 1. This is also downwards, equal to 0. So we know FDB equal to 0. Therefore, that term will vanish. Therefore, FDC will be minus 80 kilonewton. Therefore, FDC minus means it is compressive. We have assumed that to be tensile. We are getting with a minus sign. Therefore, it is compressive. So there is a force here, 80. Now there is a reaction. In the upward direction, 80, because for method of joints, these values will be needed. Suppose if we omit anything, the calculation will become wrong. So here also it is 106 point, because that depends upon which diagram we refer when we do the calculations. Therefore, we have to be very careful. Either we have to refer that diagram, mark all the details, or in this diagram we have to mark the reactions also. So, because here only people are likely to commit mistakes. So, if you forget, note down the details in this drawing. For drawing any joint, if you are referring this diagram, that will lead to confusion unless we mark all the forces and the reaction. Or always better refer this diagram. When you draw the joints, better refer that diagram. That will not cause any confusion. So one joint is over. Now we can take joint C, because this becomes known. Now the force in this is known. We have to find out these two. So we can go for joint C. So joint C, you have to mark all the details around joint C. So this is joint C. In joint C, there is a horizontal member. Let us assume that to be tensile. That is FC, the opposite end is B, FCB. Then there is a diagonal member. This is FC, the opposite end is A, FCA. There is a vertical member. Whose force is known. That is, this is 80. This value now we can mark it. So this value is, this is compressive, and this value is 80 kilonewton. Coming to theta, this value is theta, because this is 3 meters, this is 4 meters, therefore this value is theta. So when that is theta, this value is theta 1. And no other force, no other reaction at the joint C. Therefore, that's all about the details around joint C. Now here again, first we will find out, there are two unknowns. If we take sigma h equals 0 first, we will be getting an equation in terms of FCA and FCB. Nothing wrong. We can solve it in the next step. Or, first let us take sigma V equal to 0. Sigma V equal to 0 gives, because this FCB will not come into the picture. Cos 90, this will become 0. Therefore, FCA, when you want a vertical component into cos of its angle with the vertical, therefore cos theta 1, FCA cos theta 1, this is in the vertical direction, minus 80, that is 80 is in the downward direction, is equal to 0. There is no force, no reaction. This will not come into the picture. That is the equation. Right. Now cos theta 1 is 0.6. Cos theta 1 is 0.6. Therefore, FCA into 0.6 equal to 80. Or FCA equal to 80 by 0.6. 80 by 0.6 equal to 133.33. 133. We are getting with the plus sign. therefore it is tensile. So FCA is tensile. So away from the joint. Mark the arrows away from the joint because it is tensile. This value is 133.33. So this figure gives F values. So when you do the tabulation, you can straight away write down the values from the figure. Right. So that is one. Next, sigma H equal to 0 gives FCB is towards left. Now FCA into cos theta. Theta is with the horizontal. So plus FCA into cos theta. This is also towards left. This is vertical member that will not come into the picture. That will become 0. When multiplied by cos 90, that will become 0. So FCA, this value just now we have got it 133.33 into cos theta. Cos theta is 0.8. Cos theta equal to 0.8. So cos theta is 0.8. 0.8. So FCB, when this value, this is plus, therefore that will, when it goes to the right hand side, we will find that FCB is minus, FCB equal to minus 106.66. It is minus 106.66. That means that is compressive. Therefore, compressive means we have to mark towards the joint. So this is 106.66 kilonewton. So that completes joint C. We have marked all the values in the figure, therefore now we need not retain these values because these are all known, 106.67. Right. Next we can take any joint. You can take joint B or joint A. Anything can be taken. Let us take joint B. Joint B, we have to mark all the details around B. So this is joint B, no vertical reaction. There is a horizontal reaction 106.67. 106.67. Now there is a member CB. So this force is compressive. Compressive 106.66 or 67, no problem, 106.66. There is a vertical member. This is assumed to be tensile, BA. This is FBA. Then there is a diagonal member. There is a diagonal member in which already we have got the force. This member is a dummy member. It's a dummy member. So this is not carrying any force. That's all. That's about the details. 3 members, 1 horizontal reaction. Right. Now we want the value of FBA. Now, for getting FBA, now this is theta and this is theta 1. So FBA will be equal to, because these two will not come into the picture. This is already a dummy member carrying 0 force. So this only we have to resolve. That will also give only 0. So say BD, this is FBD. That is 0, already it is 0. So that when we resolve in the vertical, that will be 0. Therefore FBA equal to 0. Therefore this is also a dummy member. So that completes the analysis. We have completed all members excepting the redundant member. We have completed the force in all. So there are 4 joints. When you analyze 3 joints, you will get all the forces. all the forces. Therefore, that's about determination of the values of F. Next, so this is the force in various members of the primary structure or determinate structure due to the given system of force. That is on the right hand side. Next, we have to get the flexibility matrix. For getting the flexibility matrix, we have to apply unit value of redundant, A into F naught. So, A is due to unit force along the redundant. Therefore, what we have to do is, this is the truss. Now, forget about the external force. So, this is the hinge, this is the roller. So, this is A, B, C and D. Now, apply unit value of the force along the redundant. So, redundant is AD. AD is treated as a redundant. So, along the redundant, apply unit value of force. And find out the force in various. That will be the value of A. That A is the displacement due to the application of unit value of the redundant force. Right. Now, that's all. This is the only force. Forget about the external force. Right. Now, for this you need not find out the reactions because they are equal and opposite force. Therefore, the moment at any point that will get cancelled. This is towards right, same thing is towards left. Any point you take moment, one will give clockwise moment, the other will give anti-clockwise moment, that will become 0. Therefore, that will not cause any reaction. Right. Now, we have to do the analysis by method of joints. So, joint D, then joint C, then joint B, like that we have to repeat the. So, I have got the complete calculations, but still it will be nice if I skip the calculations because now the viewers have become familiar with the method of joints. Right. When we do the analysis for this unit force, the following will be the forces. This will be under tension. It is 0.75. This will be under tension. This will be 1.0. This under tension 0.75. This is compression 1.25. This is compression 1.25. This is again compression 1.25. I think we have marked all the forces. Yes, that is, these values can be obtained using method of joints. So that I have skipped. Right. Now that is over. We have got only one redundant. Therefore, in the equation A into F naught equal to minus UIF, etc. This will be 1 by 1 because only the static indeterminacy decides the degree of the flexibility matrix. And UIF, this is also 1 by 1. So, this unknown also is only 1. So, it is also 1 by 1. Therefore, this value you have just write. Now, for getting those values, so we know that they are the displacements. So, coming to the tabulation, serial number, member, F kilonewton, then K. Other values we will write later because I want these values, other terms we will write it later. Before that, write. There are 6 members. So, members are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. Other values will write it later. So serial members are AB, BC, members are AB, BC, CD, DA. DA is removed, but that has to be included in the tabulation. The DA, for DA also, we have to include in the tabulation. DA, then diagonal members AC, the other one is BD. The other one is BD, right. Now, for AB, first we have to write down the F values. For AB, so these are K values. These are K values. Right. AB, it is 0. AB, it is 0. For BC, it is compressive, therefore minus 106.66. Minus 106 because it is compressive. Then CD, it is again compressive, therefore minus 80. And the other member DA we have removed, so therefore here it is 0. Because we have treated AD as the redundant, we have removed it, so F is 0. F is 0. And the diagonal members AC is under tension 133.33. 133.33. Then coming to BD, it is 0. Coming to BD, it is 0. So that is about. Now we can find out how far it is comfortable. We need not refer any calculation. Compressive, tensile, everything you mark it in the figure. That will help us a lot. Similarly, K values. For this also, the diagram will be helpful. So coming to AB, it is tension. So 0.7. Therefore plus 0.75. Plus 0.75. So here it is tension. Therefore 1.0. For the vertical member CD, it is tension. So 0.75. 0. For the horizontal member DA, now it is tension 1.0. Diagonal member, it is compressive. AC is compressive, therefore minus 1.25. Minus 1.25. And the other member BD is also under compression, that is also minus 1.25. So that's about the use of these two figures. Now we will rub off. So this theta, cos theta, sin theta, if you have these values like this, every time you need not write 36 degree, 52 minutes, 53 degree, 08 minutes, all those things, we will be able to save time. But we have to correctly mark the values of theta and theta 1. If that. So that advantage one must understand for saving the time. Right. Now, we will extend the tabulation. Now, next one is that of FKL. We know the formula sigma FKL by AE is one term, sigma K square L by AE is another term. Here, the lengths are different. Therefore, we have to provide a column for L. We have to provide a column for L in terms of meter or millimeter. Now here, A and E are same. A and E are same. Therefore, whatever may be the unit, we can forget about AE. Therefore, in this problem, of course, in this problem, L we can write in terms of meter. L. Suppose area is given in terms of millimeter square, then better we have to write L also in terms of millimeters. So here we can write in terms of meters. For the vertical member it is 3 meters, horizontal member 4 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, both are 5 meters. Diagonal members 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 L meters. And area is same, Young's modulus is same, therefore we need not provide separate column. We have to find out FKL. Because AE will be common, therefore that we need not write FKL numerator. That is needed for one calculation. Then K square L is needed for another calculation. So FKL. Now these values are only calculations. Multiply FKL. FKL, first term, because this is 0, this will be 0. This will be 0. It is minus 426.64. Minus 426.64. That is 106.66 into 1 into 4. That is minus 426.64. This is minus 180. Minus 180. Again, this is 0. Therefore, this is 0. 0. Then minus 833.31 on multiplying 133.33 into minus 1.25 into 5. Now here f is 0, therefore this value is 0. So that is only calculation. Similarly, we have k value. So we have to find out k square L. K square L. For example, when we take this, k square will be 1, L is 4, so that will be 4. Therefore, this is 1.6875. These are all only calculations. Values are available in the table. So multiply and get the value 1.6875, 4, 7.8125 or 20s. I mean 7.8125. Now find out the sum. Sum of sigma FKL. Sigma FKL. Sigma FKL will be minus 1439.95 and sigma k square L. Sigma k square L will be 27. So this is for writing the final forces. This is final force in members. Final force P equal to F plus K into F naught. K into F naught. F naught is the one that we are going to get it. Right. Now, we know A into F naught equal to minus U. UIF. Right. That is the value. Now, the displacement due to the given external loading on the primary structure. So that wordings I will just avoid writing. So UIF is the displacement in the primary structure due to the given loading. UIF equal to sigma FKL by AE equal to sigma FKL by AE. That is equal to, this is the displacement along the redundant in the primary structure due to the given external loading. That is equal to sigma FKL by AE equal to minus 1439.95 by AE. Right. Next is, we know this is 1 by 1. There is only 1 degree of redundancy. This is also 1 by 1. So A is the displacement along the redundant direction due to the application of unit redundant force. That is A. A is the displacement along the along the redundant direction due to the application of unit value of redundant. That value equal to sigma k square L by AE. Similar to that of m1 square EI, m1 square dx by EI in the earlier problem, right? So this is equal to 27 by EI, 27 by AE, 27 by AE. AE is same for all members. Therefore, now here when you substitute 27 for want of space, I will write it here. Now the left hand side is 27 by AE is our A matrix into F naught is the redundant force equal to minus of this is also minus 1439.95 minus of 1439.95 by AE. 9 by A. That is the value. So this minus and minus will become plus, right? Now on solving, there is only one term, AE will get cancelled. So F naught equal to 1439.95 by 27. F naught equal to the redundant force F naught equal to 53.306 kilonewton. So this is the value of F naught. Actually, this is the force in the member, in the horizontal member AD. The force in the member AD equal to 53.306 kilonewton tensile, of course. Tensile. So that is about the redundant. That is how you have to find out the value of the redundant. Now here the final force in all other members will be F plus Kf. F is here in the third column, F is there, K is there in the fourth column, and P is here. So for example, suppose we want to find out the force in a member AB, the value of PAB equal to, now F value is 0, plus K value is 0.75, and this value is 53.306 into 53.306. That will give you the final force. The final force equal to 39.98. So this value equal to 39.98. So like this, we have F values, we have K values, and we have the redundant. F naught. Therefore, using these values, we can fill up the table 39.98. So many kilonewtons. 39.98 minus 53.354. Again, the decimals, there will be different from problem to problem depending upon the number of decimals that we consider. Actually, this is supposed to be 40. So this is minus 40.02. Again, decimal problem, it is only 40. 53.306. 53.306. 66.70 minus 66.63. This again will be 66.67. But anyway, because of the rounding of numbers, so that is about the final force in various numbers. So this is how you have to analyze a pin joint truss. So this truss is internally indeterminate to 1 degree. So we have to understand the difference between the strain energy method and that of the matrix flexibility method. Namely direct flexibility method. Right. So this completes this lecture. So thank you for your patience.